Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back after a great weekend. I had a great weekend, but I hope you guys did as well. Um, we're back from last week. Last week was crazy in terms of the market. Crazy. I'm trying to just open up the iPhone mirroring system. Give me a sec using OBS. But yeah, yesterday the wifey and I went with some friends to watch a movie, Obsession. It was all right. It wasn't that scary in my opinion. What did you guys get up to? What you been up to? Are you still recovering from last week? Is your portfolio's in green? As you can see, the public portfolio is open. It's in green right now, and we're just looking at it, man. Easy. I was So if you don't know me, I'm Jeremy Waller. I've been on this live segment on my channel, assisting, navigating people in this space, and I try to speak to you guys. If I was speaking to me when I was in my early 20s, I'm in my mid 40s now. I'm gonna be 44 in August. So I'm trying to speak to people who, like how I said, if I had this opportunity where someone spoke to me where I was much earlier uh, in my life, I I would have loved to had a mentor who spoke to me. I had great bosses. I had great people in my life, no doubt. But my early 20s, no one taught me about this financial advice and how this could, with consistently adding to it, and would compound. I only got into investing in 2015 into the stock market. Maybe you guys are in it before me, maybe you guys aren't in it, but I'm just sharing my story about it. And I wish that I could have done more at that time. I was happy with my job, my income, where my life was, what I was doing, and I really didn't think about my future and how I look at it right now as I'm getting older. So this part of my segment where I go live, I want to just help people like understand my story, and if it has any benefits or pros or cons, or literally not benefits. It's like sharing my story is basically trying to tell you guys, like, if I spoke to Jeremy Waller when he was younger, I would understand where Jeremy Waller is currently now, right? So that's what I want to. I'm trying to get to day by day. We try to go live every day, sometimes on the weekend as well as just a short brief on shorts on YouTube. But I wish I started early in the market and whatever markets, right? So I know a lot of people don't, because I was born in Dubai, a lot of people don't do the stock market in the US. They do whatever markets they're in, whether it's Asia, whatever, right? I'm currently focused, and I've been focused since 2015 in the US stock market. And this is why, like, I'm basing my public YouTube beginners portfolio for you guys. I'm trying to show you guys, like, if I started today in the market, this is how it would look. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build wealth. We started this account like with $1,000. It's now 11, and obviously it's not like it from one went to 11. It grew right over time. We added some, we cut some losses. We took some profits. We got our crypto. We got a little back in on this portfolio, right? And I do obviously. This is not my primary job. Obviously, I have an agency where we help Fortune 500 companies. We assist them in today's world, SMBs, individuals, what they want to do. So I'm not trying to get into too much what I do on a daily basis, but it's all about the public portfolio when I go live on my channel, right? And if you look at my channel, I'm literally posting content because it's not about bragging. It's not about, it's about my experiences. I lost my mom when she was 54 in 2011, and I just wish I had more video uh, offer, right? I wish I captured it, our memories, and I put it on YouTube. A lot of people don't put like their personal stuff on YouTube. I kind of put what I'm comfortable in putting on social media, not just YouTube, like all social media. What I'm comfortable in sharing is because I want to relive those memories for me, my close family, my friends who been on that journey with whoever was in that video, right? Sometimes when we're out at a meal or whatever at a restaurant and the food's good, why wouldn't you share it? So long story short, so this is also the same thing when I do these segments on my live YouTube, is like I'm sharing my wins, my losses. Just it might uh, give you some intel about what the market is from a beginner's point of view, right? Because I'm not sharing my private portfolios or anything. I'm sharing these portfolios for a reason, because I want people to look how, if they were beginners, this is how it would get or look like, right? The wife is saying, wasn't sure about Obsession. Yeah, that movie. What latest movies have you guys watched? That movie was a bit cheese for me. And it got like 8.1 or something on IMDb. Anyway, so we're talking about. Let me just put the title of the video in. Give me a second. I gotta. Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, it's not like I'm looking at this. Let me just switch my screen. So it looks like I'm looking at. There you go. So now it looks like I'm looking at the portfolio. So it's the 11,044.50. You know, buying power 671. That's because we got out of place, and that's what I'm just doing in this portfolio. Obviously, we are in a bit of Bitcoin just to show people how Bitcoin is trending. First of all, I can't advise you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm not a financial certified advisor. What I can do is show you what I'm doing, what Jeremy Wall is doing in the market on the public portfolio, right? Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we have some orders to go in. And this is a baby account, right? For newbies, how you want to start, etc., etc. Average score is 60,000. Now, my crypto sits in Coinbase. The reason that I have a Coinbase account is because I have a Coinbase One account. So just because based on your volume and your dollar value of buying and selling and transactions you're doing, I'm a Coinbase One account. Like on Robinhood Gold is just $5 a month. I think Coinbase is like $18 or $19 a month. But that's where I have my crypto sat in, majority of my crypto. And currently, I'm just in Bitcoin as of today, right? And all my crypto portfolios, just so you guys know. So the reason that I use Robinhood to show you guys, I want to say like Robinhood is really easy friendly, like user friendly. It's like how Nokia phones were back in the day. If you guys ever used a Nokia phone back in the day, shows my age. But yeah, that's why I'm showing Robinhood. And it's kind of, if you stick to investment and not getting into like predictions and all these markets, because that's gambling. If you stick to investments for the long term, it's great in my opinion, because you can create wealth. Again, I'm using Robinhood on app. I'm mirroring the app on OBS, so it's kind of easy for me to show you guys in this manner as of today. The more the channel levels up, I'm obviously going to have more going on, but right now it is what it is. I'm shooting in my office, my home office. It's a DIY project. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. But as exactly like how my video says, don't panic. I hope if you guys just got into investing, panic selling, emotional selling is not great, because I can understand if you just go into the market and everything is red. And I even tell this to my brother who's actually joined investing as well after many, many years. I'm like, and hats off to him for doing so. You got to bet on yourself to make stuff happen. The best investment in your life is telling yourself that you can achieve wealth, you can achieve greatness, you can achieve good things in life, but you just have to wait and compound it. There's no easy out. Like, I've never won a lottery, or I don't know even anyone around me who won a lottery. I know there's a family member who won something in Dubai duty free, a car or something, but I've never won him. I don't know that person personally, as in I know the person by name. But yeah, long story short, for me, my journey is probably different. So I'm trying to create wealth in my life, in my family, help people, my friends and family who want to get help. I'm not just helping anyone who doesn't want to get help, right? That's why I'm doing this. Like, maybe you guys could tap in and see what it is. So yeah, with crypto, It's really volatile. So if you really know what you're doing about crypto, then I would suggest doing it, do your research, do your DD, your due diligence. And in my opinion, I believe Bitcoin. Obviously, I've seen it go from $10,000. That's the first time I bought some, till it went to 120, 125 or something. So yeah, and currently it's 59,000, as you can see, right? So is this market manipulated? Is this market, are they higher beings doing whatever they're doing? Hedge funds, VCs, big private equity firms, 100%. But if you're in something like I've been in Bitcoin, like I told you, from $10,000, I've seen it go up, go down. I'm in it because I know not too much about it, like how I know the stock market, because I haven't been trading or investing in stock in crypto as that long, right? But I do see it as being an asset, or I wouldn't use the word asset. I do see it being part of my portfolio, whether it's public or private, and making money on it. And that's how I look at it. I just, my belief is to make money in these portfolios, and I got to do the right thing for the portfolio to make money, right? Like today we up, not even a percent, but we made $83 just having some money sat. Because if I had, let's just say, whatever money I had, if it was like in a bank, it was in my wallet, under the mattress. It's not doing shit in your bra, whatever, right? So it wouldn't even generate $81 in a day, right? So from speaking from that aspect, or that POV, that's how I look at things, right? I want to make money on my money. So far we're up $18. If you don't know what SoFi is like your non-traditional bank. So it's like a total online bank with 15 members and growing. I'm in the private portfolios as well, and we're in it in the public. So we've made about under 5%, which is not much, obviously, but I'm trying to speak to people who are getting into their investment journeys, fresh out the boat, right? This is your first time. This is, if you want to use my Robinhood, link is below. You want to use Moomoo, you want to use whatever, Coinbase. You can also buy stock and crypto. Even Robinhood, you can buy stock and crypto. The reason I just show Robinhood is it's an easier process, and it's really well dialed in with all the details and stuff, right? So yeah, so now we are above 5%. So see what I'm saying? We just have 22 shares. So the portfolio is based on like diversity. My version of a diversity for this portfolio is banking, finance, some energy stocks, some consumer stocks, and your ETFs, right? And obviously it's tech. Tech's the sector that's growing, so we're in tech in this portfolio. We're more in tech as of now, but we also have like good amounts in other stocks as well, like consumer, finance, the energy, right? So we have American Express. American Express is about under a share right now. So the idea of these, if you're watching this channel, like, okay, this guy just has this. I'm doing it according to what I want to do in the public account and how I'm growing it. There are better ways. Obviously there are better ways. This is my way, right? I don't want to overwhelm people from all levels of coming into the market. Our goal is to DCA, dollar cost average. So every time it's in a red, we buy stock. Like today, there's a dip. You look at the 1 week. The lowest dip was 335. If you can look top, where is it here? The low, $335, and currently we are at 340. It's not a massive dip. I like to buy when we are red over here, or when we come close to this, right? Because you can't time the market, in my opinion. So you keep on just doing what you got to do to accumulate, right? Now, my goal before the end of this year is hopefully get this close to 10 shares. If not 10 shares, as close as I can get in the public portfolio to that 10 shares, right? All these plays usually, so far, American Express, Robinhood, these are the long plays, and it goes on, right? When I say long plays, I'm going to reevaluate the long-term plays in my public portfolio in the next 3 years. So far is long, American Express is long, Robinhood, VO, SCHD, Microsoft, APH, Google, and go on. Like I'll tell you, there are other ones that I've added recently, and I'm going to review those annually, 6 months, only because with these new sectors, you got to be careful and you got to understand the fundamentals of these companies. What are the fundamentals? Like if you open up Robinhood, it's $100 right now, right? We have about 5.5 shares, market value is 550 of our value in this. Our average cost is 81, it's currently 100, right? We made about 24%, or say 23 point whatever, point 5, we made $105. Now, when I say fundamental and stuff, you guys got to look at all these details and don't get overwhelmed because, once you understand it, it's not overwhelming, in my opinion, right? So you have to look at the price earning ratio, which is basically, it's currently high for a company. Now, if you Google this, you can see what price or Gemini or chatbot or ChatGPT, whatever you use, Claude. Usually, like companies, if they're below 20, they at a really good price. 20 to 30 is decent. Anything above that, obviously, it's kind of going, the price earning ratio is higher to buy that company and stuff. Borrow rate is 0%. That's what you want to see, in my opinion, right? It gives you the market cap. So Robinhood's currently 90 billion. And also, like, understanding, you can also read up on these companies, what they've been doing. The 52-week low, which is 63, is currently 100. All these other stats. 6.7 people are selling. Maybe they're selling to take profit. So don't panic when you see sell. You got to understand why there's a sell, what the platform is doing, like Robinhood. Also look at all these other details that Robinhood gives you. Trading trends. So you can also see what insiders are doing. Like insiders last year was selling. So obviously, that's buy. So they were selling year, right? Probably August, October. And, I like to buy when people sell, when it's red. Good companies, right? Good companies, you see that you want this in your long-term portfolio. But I want to show you like all the stats that Robinhood does give you. I'm not affiliated with this, although Morningstar is giving this company 1 out of 5. At the same time, sometimes you just have to do what's from the information you have and see where the company is going. Like the amount of new accounts that are coming to Robinhood because of what the current president and stuff, the admins are doing. That's how I look at it, right? I don't support, what I support is my money, my growing my wealth, right? Because I can help my family, I can help my friends, I can help people who are unfortunate. That's where my focus is on, not on the other noise and everything. That's just me, bro. I'm just sharing what I'm doing, right? You guys do you. But yeah, these are like the Robinhood kind of shows you everything, like the earning, blah blah blah. And this is why I do my reviews annually, every 2 years, every 6 months, whatever. You got to, like, it's a business, right? So you got to look at your profit and loss statements. You got to look at this as a business and say, okay, it's not working for me now. I'm going to rotate my money and put in something else. That's how I manage all my portfolios, right? And the proof's in the pudding. What does that mean? Is basically if I open my private portfolios, I can see like double-digit, triple-digit growth, right? Now the reason I have that growth is because I'm doing the homework, I'm doing the research, I'm putting in the time, making the effort to learn, understand, surround myself with people who are like 10, 20 million net worth, even more. Some guys are 40 million net worth, right? And I surround myself with these sort of winners only because I want to win. If I surround myself with people like me, yeah, we're going to get there, but we're not going to grow, right? So I have a mixed bag of people in my life, whether it's clients, friends, or family members, whatever, where people on my level, people above me, and way above me. Are there people below me? 100%. And I'm not saying below me, I'm just looking at categories like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, right? So 1 being like where I started back then, 2 is, let's say, where I'm at, 3 is where I want to be in the next 1, 2 years, 4 is like 5-year plan, and 6 is like, I'm now chilling on the beach with my cocktail, as my friend Rodell would say, like, I just want to chill on the beach and, make the money, right? So I'm with these people because, the younger version of myself, I remember my dad saying that you'll either become what your friends are or your friends will become what you are, right? And the more you mature as a man, you understand, like I've been sober in terms of not consuming alcohol for about 3 years now, right? So when I get my mindset right, my body right, I can see everything's not great in my life. Everything's not great, but like I want to get there. So I got to make these steps, these changes to get there, right? And that's how, same thing about investing, right? The reason that I'm doing and showing people the public portfolio, full transparency, I'm showing the reds, I'm showing the greens. If you guys watch my earlier videos, bro, we're bleeding. Some of these, like Microsoft was triple digit red. And you know what? That's when I buy these great companies. Now they are, to me, they're great companies, right? Meta, another reason. Like look at CRM, it's still down, triple digit, like down. Okay, as it's 12%, a little under 12%. We have about 6.8 shares, 1,179. Currently, it's 158, and we're just accumulating. How I'm showing you guys, like right now, I'm just buying online with you guys. $20 I just bought in this baby portfolio. I call it a baby portfolio. Meta's 564. Our average cost is 596. We're about 5% down. And you guys might ask, why am I just putting $20 and not more? Bro, I'm just doing what I'm doing, like I don't know how far the falling knife can fall, so I don't want to get cut deep. So I'm just buying it. It goes up, goes down. I've been in this stock since 2015. This was the first stock that I've ever bought when it was called Facebook. I bought it for a little under $90. And during the pandemic, it fell around then. And we bought in our private portfolio. So if you look at Facebook, for example, the reason why I'm also just putting 20 right now, the P ratio is awesome. Borrow rate is great, $1.4 trillion. But they're spending crazy in R&D, if you want to say it. All the stats are good. But their capex, which is what they want to spend this year on R&D, right, on growth, is like 145 billion or something, some crazy number, right? And last year they just spent half of that. But Morningstar still says the stock can get up to 850, and we are currently 564, right? So I buy meta platforms because I've seen the projection of ups and downs since 2015. I've made a lot of money in it, and I continue to do so, right? So many of us are still on Facebook. So many of us use Instagram daily for their business or as an individual or whatever, right? We use Microsoft. I use Microsoft as a tool for all my emails, for my office emails and day-to-day, Outlook. I don't use PowerPoint how I used to as much because we now use Canva in the office. But yeah, so this is why we buy these companies: Microsoft, Meta, CRM, like 100%. Nvidia. I don't think we have a lot in Nvidia. Yeah, exactly, 1.4 shares. Not a lot in this portfolio, but if it dips, I like to buy in red, like I said, even in a private portfolio. Unless you're adding to an ETF. What is an ETF? Like VOO, SCHD, VTI, SPMO. These are like, I'm getting some dividend in this portfolio, which is great. But yeah, we don't have a lot, 588. We have more value in other individual stocks because you have more room to grow in terms of gains, but you definitely have more down scale as well if they fall, right? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Make sure you're in the right company. So like we made about under 7%, $37, not much. But VO is a safe ETF. It tracks basically the S&P 500. So yeah, SPMO is the other one. Like in this ETF, we've made $113 now. This one just tracks the top 100 top momentum stocks from the US market, right? And if the stock isn't performing in the top 100, so they obviously kick it out and replace it with another moving stock. So I like SPM for the growth, because always, yes, you pay a higher fee, which people don't tell you. I think the expense ratio is 0.13%, like you can see here. So that's what you pay annually because they manage the ETF. If you look at VOO as an example, it's 0.03. So it's really way less from their management fees if you want to look at it in that perspective, right? But I like to add an SPMO as frequent as possible because obviously it's always going to perform. Is it going to give you 50, 60%? The longer you are, it might. It might not, it might be, but it'll definitely give you more than your money just sat in a bank or anything, right? Service now, if you get it below 100, I think you're getting it a bargain. But as is my opinion, we got it. Our average cost is literally below 100. We've not made a lot of money on it, but yeah. But hey, bro, like if that money was sat in my wallet, it didn't give me $9 extra. You see what I'm saying? If I had like 400, 450, 460, for whatever, you see what I'm saying? It wouldn't do anything. The PE ratio is pretty high. Borrow rate is still zero, which is great. Nike, bro, this stock, bro. Like we have this in private portfolio. Obviously, we don't have much here. Whatever we do have, it's like obviously 7% less. Our average cost is 44. It's not too far from where it is. But they're obviously having internal changes like the CFO and stuff, bro. Like, you know, it is what it is. Um, I do see the stock growing though. I think it will close maybe $60 before the year end. But yeah, that's just me saying that. I don't think it's going anywhere. All the people say there's so much competitors in the market and this, bro, like it's Nike. It's Nike. So yeah. Again, I'm not trading with my heart. I'm not getting attached, but like based on a company being this size of a juggernaut in that sector, in that space, although they have competition, it's great. You know, look at Elf, bro. Look at Elf. Now our bags are packed in Elf in the private portfolio. We got it at 57 in this portfolio, which is about $10 less than now. You know, this is what I mean diverse, right? The portfolio is diverse in such a way that if tech's not performing, these guys are performing, right? So as a business, yes, overall we should be on top in all our businesses, but there could be the companies, the business can underperform, but overall our companies are doing well, so our wealth's doing well, our money's doing well overall, right? So yeah, this is what I mean diversify. Copper, we like to be in this space as well because with tech you need all these components and everything, a lot down. We don't even have a lot. Average cost 78, it's currently 75. I'll just add $10 to it. So yeah. DRAM is a great ETF in my opinion. It's all to do with memory, right? So we got it at $47. It's currently 70. We are up 48%. So it's all to do with memory, and you can understand with Micron if you type ticker symbol MU SanDisk Samsung memory in Google or whatever bot you use, you can see the growth that these companies have done recently it's tremendous in my opinion, right? Top 10 holdings, the companies are here. But yeah, if this dips more, we will accumulate more in this portfolio as well, right? But what is dipping more? Like if I see today's return is like 5% and less, 8% less, more than that, I'll just be adding more to it, accumulating more. Right now we've made $247 from getting into it in May. Intel, all these companies are in the long term. Even this company, so if you're a new person to the market and looking like, how is this guy buying Eli Lilly or whatever? Pharmaceutical company, another diverse position in the portfolio, $1,215. Now, we didn't buy one. Like I said, this is a newbie account. We don't even have 0.1 share. We have 0.05 shares, $67. That's it. Average cost is this much. We made already $7. So we invested $60. We got 67 into it. That's what I'm saying, guys, right? Fractional shares is amazing. When I got into investing, I only could buy one share back in the day in Dubai, right? With the company. So we buy this weekly and we just put $10 every week, bro. That's it. This is just teaching you. This account's basically showing you the portfolio, like you can do this recurring investments. All you need to start this journey is a social security number and funds, right? But you can buy these big companies, which today is 1,200 and something change. You can keep on adding to it slowly, right? You just need to know, like, to make the dish, you need to know the ingredients, right? To make a great dish, you need to have your palate, your taste buds, you need to have tried this dish as an example in a restaurant from your mom and dad or cousins, whoever cook it well, right? To know that the flavors are hitting and all. So if you have the right ingredients, you can start your investing today. If you want to move and make the dish, elevate the dish, you need to surround yourself with people who are winning, bro. Simple as, right? This is a quantum ETF, which I'm not going to get into. Irene's down 20% in portfolio. We have this much. Today it's $46. We got 50 cents. So I'll just add $10 to it right now. And you can check these companies that I'm buying. Just put it in, like I said, in Google or your chatbot, what these companies do, what they're about, right? I'm not going to give you all the ingredients and you come up with the amazing dish, right? I want you guys, if you're following me, to also do your due diligence, right? Okay, not too much time, Marvel. Get this when it's more red. And the account got lucky, bro. We added SpaceX to it. So hey, we got lucky. And when I say we got lucky, we got chosen. This stock can go to $80, $90 when they start selling. So yeah. And this is a new play that we added here. So it's basically non-US markets. It's an ETF. So it's basically the fund tracks a market cap weighted index of stocks covering 90% of the global market capital outside the US. So if you want to see who are these companies outside the US, this is first of all the sectors: financial services, tech, and so on, energy, blah blah. Top 10 holding: Taiwan Semiconductor, Samsung, ASML, Sky Hynix, Tencent, HSBC, and the list goes on, right? Alibaba, blah blah blah. So yeah. So this is just for diversity purpose, because if you look at this ETF, and if you go like 5 years back, 5 years ago, if you got it like 27. So these are safe ETFs. 1 year ago, 22. Year to date, it's 10. And we just do this just in case the US market has a dip, that the non-US market will have a growth. So this is why we're building this position as well in this portfolio, right? It's not much at all. It's only one share as of now. But yeah, this is a new play that we added, VXUS. Oh, I think this one's new as well. Liberty Energy, yeah. Liberty, yeah. So guys, what I want to leave you today with is that if you all panicked so last week, it's crazy because, in my opinion, it's crazy because you don't want to just get in and get out. This is not the casino. If you're in the right companies, in the right stocks, right? You want to make sure like you're in this for the long term. Let me just flip the camera. Give me a sec. So you want to make sure that you're in the long term, right? And because if you invest for the long term mindset in great companies, do your homework, do your research, do your DD, speak to the right people. If you have 10 friends, 5 close friends, 10 close friends, 2 close friends, and if you send them like a message, because if this conversation never come up about investing, and if you send them a message saying, guys, do you know this AMZN, which is Amazon, right? Everyone uses Amazon, Prime Day, this, that, but how many of you all actually invest in Amazon, right? So when you get your mindset right, like if I show you Amazon, right? Oh, give me a sec. Obviously, we don't have Amazon in this portfolio, but we do have Amazon in our private portfolios, right? Now, Amazon's $240, right? If you go back 5 years, you would have made 40% if you got into 5 years ago, right? Now, even if you put 10, 100, 1,000, 100,000, you see what I'm saying? If you keep on adding $10 a week, $50 a week, $20 a week in the stock, the proof's in the pudding there, right? 1 year, you see what I'm saying, guys? Obviously, year to date, it's only given this much, which is below 4%. But what I'm saying is, I'm in this stock probably since 2019. right? Currently, what's happening in the market, why we are seeing these major companies down, is because of SpaceX, of Anthropic, of what's the other one coming out? OpenAI, and there's another one, all going IPO. So money is rotating. Crypto was booming, then a lot of people sold their crypto. And I'm saying, when I say not retail investors, which is us, I'm talking about the major VCs, hedge funds, the major companies, BlackRock, you know, they sell and rotate. We're just using these as examples. They rotate into sectors that are booming: memory, tech, AI. Once that once that is so about to pop, they're rotated into cosmetics, into consumer goods, Nike, back into crypto. So it's great to have skin in the game in right sectors, in right companies, in my opinion, but also know where your money is going and also understand where the money is going, right? Not just your money, but also their money. So to make money, you got to follow the money. Again, Amazon as a business, their revenues keep on going up. In the right term, the PE ratio is great. Borrow rate is obviously great. 2.5 trillion. It's a huge company. Revenue, look at 0% sell, right? Morningstar says 280. We are 240, 4 to 5 stars. If you look at their revenue, it's still growing, right? So their revenue is like this. Obviously it kind of dropped here, but they're still going to make money because that's their revenue. But look at the gross profit; it didn't dip as hard that their revenue did. Earnings look great, so you got to understand that these companies are going. That's what's happening, right? The money is rotating everywhere. So look at these companies, for the long term. You'll make money, right? It's currently at a great price, in my opinion, to get in. But I can't advise you what to buy, hold, or sell. You can do what's best for you. And everybody's using Amazon. Everybody is, right? So I want to leave you with that. I hope this week, you make it happen. If you haven't made it happen, you can start now. If you think this video's got some sort of good noise to you, some sort of value to your life, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Stay blessed, make it happen, own it. Peace.